Well, hey there, air gunners. This is Zach from the Shooter Zone, where we are always staying on target. So today we have another nice, fun, big bore air rifle for you. This is the AEA Element Max in .45 caliber, and this today came from the Pellet Shop. If you're looking for one of these Element Maxes, I encourage you to look them up. They're great guys over there. They always take care of their customers and very reliable, friendly, and all that kind of good stuff. So again, check them out. I'll put a link down the bottom for their website so you can go and check it out from there. All right, so a little bit about this rifle today. Again, this is classified, I would say, in my opinion, as a hunting rifle. So I see questions about this. Why did they do this and why did they do that? And they did it because, again, it's a hunting rifle, so they made sure that the components that they put into this were kind of more designed for that. So let's go into it and we can discuss these things. First off, it's a single shot rifle, so no magazine. That's one of the questions that comes up. Why not a magazine? Well, again, it's a hunting rifle, and in .457, which is what slug you should be putting through there, in my opinion. This is a 220 grain slug. I like the 220s and 240s. If you're hunting, say, whitetail, I mean, the reality is, do you need more than one shot? You may need a follow-up shot. That's a possibility. And putting a second slug in this doesn't really take much time. I mean, it happens pretty quickly, so it's not really that big of a deal at all. It is also hammer cocked. Now, again, people say, why hammer cocked? Well, I think that the trigger is much nicer on a hammer cocked firearm or air gun or whatever, your rifle, whatever it is. If it's hammer cockable, I think the triggers naturally are just quicker and cleaner because they just break a lot nicer. So again, this is all about accuracy and hunting. So those two things combined is why they put them there. Single shot, hammer cockable, hunting primarily. Could you use this for other things just to have fun and blow up stuff? Of course you can. 330cc air tank, fillable up to 4,500 psi. This is the third thing people are saying. Why 330cc and not the 500cc? Well, again, they're trying to keep this lighter, if possible, if you're carrying it and hunting. And for sure that knocks off some weight. And again, you could still get 3 or 4 shots out of this, even filled to just a little bit over 4,000 psi. At least that's what mine's getting. So again, it's just not a concern. How many shots do you need when you go out? You want to make sure that the air tank is sufficient for the amount of shots you're probably going to be taking on one game, you know, one deer or whatever it is you're going to be hunting. So again, it's perfectly fine with a 330cc tank. Matter of fact, I kind of prefer it over the 500cc tank. The reason why is it's a lot easier to fill. So again, if you're hunting, you know, I don't want any more than 2 or 3 shots, so 330cc is perfectly fine, especially at a 4,500 fill. And I never really fill mine up to 4,500. I always fill them up to about 42. We have a 20-inch barrel on this. Nice size for hunting. Again, not overly long, where if you're dragging it through some brush, you know, it's going to get tangled up and everything. But again, it's just the right length, I think. Got the hush can on today to quiet it down a little bit. These you cannot find right at the moment. Hopefully they'll be back up for sale soon. So, you know, keep looking at Lethal Airgun page. And, you know, hopefully, again, they'll have them up soon. They're just working out some details here and there. It does have a Picatinny rail on top, which is always nice. You know, again, if you're using dovetail, yeah, I just think you know, the clamping effort on dovetail just isn't quite as nice. And for sure, the Picatinny rail's a lot more secure for your scope, so there's no movement. So, I don't know. Again, it's just my preference. Does have a safety right over here on the side, and it's a simple safety. You push it forward and you can see the little bar goes right behind the trigger, so it cannot go off. has a nice little gauge right on the side here, fill port with a probe that it comes with, and of course collapsible stock, and also it does fold over as well if you want to fold it over for some reason. Alright, so I think that's the basics of it. It says it gets up to about 400 FPE. We're going to set up the chrono today, and we're going to take 4 shots today, and we're going to see what the chrono numbers are on this and the accuracy. That's probably all I'm going to do today until we get into maybe firing some different slugs through it to see what the performance is across a few different slugs. So this is what I'm going to do. As always, got the target set out at 40 yards. I have my famous white paper plate with a splatterburst 2-inch target on there. And so we're going to see if we can put those rounds right in that 2-inch target without any problems. I don't think we will. And I'm going to need to go out there and turn on the camera for that. So why don't you guys hold still, and I'll be right back, and we'll take our 4 shots and see how it does. Stay tuned. Okay, we are back. Again, have the camera on out there at 40 yards. We're going to load a slug in this, and then we're going to take our 4 shots, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. When you insert these slugs, they don't need to necessarily go in all the way, just in there snug. So keep that in mind. Pull it back, close the breech, turn on the hammer, make sure the safety's off. Again, I do have the chrono set up. Hopefully we can get a number off of that, a reading. We'll have to see. But let's take a few shots. "900 feet per second. Again, with a 240 grain slug. Got to make sure you get a good grip on that hammer. Again, it is a little bit heavy, but it needs to be. That one went a little bit to the right. Let's try this again. Always, we do have a little bit of wind like always. Yeah. Just double checking I have that hammer when you're not used to it. The second shot was probably a little bit me too. Guess I should take responsibility for it. Yeah, so wind's blowing a little bit, but I pulled it a tad too. All right, so that one dropped to 774 feet per second. All right, so I guess, again, at 4,000 PSI, which is what we had this loaded up at, 3 shots, 3 rounds is probably what we're going to get out of this. I thought we can squeak a 4th out, and maybe we could if we had it all the way up to 4,500 PSI. But as we saw, 774 feet per second versus the 900 feet per second dropped that pellet some. So, you know, again, 3 shots. 3 good shots where you can make sure that you're on target if you fill up to 4,000 PSI. Again, this is a hunting rifle, people. You can ask for more than that. Again, if you have to take more than 3 shots, as I say, you probably shouldn't be hunting. But accuracy-wise, this thing is accurate. And again, that second one I pulled a little bit. Also, I think that would have been in too. I have no doubt I would have had that in the 2-inch target. So there you go. Again, this is the first video on this. We're probably going to do a couple more for sure. The day's not necessarily the nicest here. It's okay. It was sleeting and freezing last 2 days, so today I think we're right about at 40, so can't complain, and the sun's out. Even though there's a little bit of wind, no big deal. So I'm going to have fun with this. Again, we're going to have a couple more times with this, looking at it and getting used to it. I only put 3 shots through this before you saw me here shooting this. So here's an interesting little story. Got a brand new 3x9 for it to put on. Obviously, the Element Max is brand new. Used, I think these are shorter, medium mounts. Put it on. I took my first shot at, I think, 15 yards just to start the zero in. And I was literally 2 inches below that. So, brought it up 6 clicks and set it out to 30 yards. And I had this little 1/2 inch stick-on circle. And it just grazed the circle. So it was really nice to not have to spend a lot of time in zeroing this in. All right, so that's the end of the story time. Again, if you have not liked this YouTube channel yet, please do click below. Again, I'm going to put a link to the Pellet Shop below as well, so you can click on that and get to their page easily. If you haven't liked us on Facebook yet, please do that. It's the Shooter Zone on Facebook. And again, we will be back soon. Shoot lots, be safe, and again, we will see you shortly. Take care now.